Hey, board games are awesome.
They are amazing.
You know what else is awesome?
What?
Dogs.
Dogs. Yes, we got an extra one up here right now.
Yeah, somebody's being where's my coffee this morning? All right, but why are board games so awesome?
I don't know. I hadn't really given it much thought. I just know that they are.
Well, why don't we just talk about that on today's Board Games and Coffee? Welcome to Wisco Dice. Hey, yo, folks. I am your host, Conesy with the Most, and I am joined today by...
Hey, I'm Suzanne.
And we're going to enjoy a cup of coffee and have a little conversation with you today on Board Games and Coffee. But we're going to talk... What are we going to talk about here?
We're going to talk about what we find that makes board games so awesome. Why we enjoy playing them, and why we hear a lot of you enjoy playing them too.
So there's a lot of people that are in our lives that talk about, why do you guys love board games? What makes them so fascinating? So we thought this would be an awesome chance to just sit down on Board Games and Coffee and really kind of explore why we really enjoy board games.
Yeah, but there's something they got to do first.
There's a but. There's always a but.
Before we can go through with getting any further, we need you to
smash
that like button. Also subscribe if you haven't already. And while you're doing that, we will tell you what we're drinking today.
Yeah, and let us know what you're drinking in the comments below so that you can get featured like some of these folks on screen right now from previous episodes of Board Games and Coffee. We are drinking, what is it, the Dark Mayan...
Mayan Dark Roast by Just Coffee Cooperative. And yes, today I am drinking coffee also.
Yeah, we both have cool
the same
espresso drinks. You had a cool little pattern on your
Yeah, I took a picture of it so everyone can see it.
So it should be on the screen too.
You can see what Conesy's barista skills are, how they're
not great, but we're here really though to talk about why do we think what is it? What is this substance, this thing that makes this hobby board game phenomenon so awesome? Why are we so attracted to it? I mean, besides just being nerds.
Speak for yourself.
Okay.
No, I mean it's
nerd.
It's just we're gamers.
Yes.
We are gamers, but tabletop gamers. A lot of people think gamers and they go, oh, it's video games. You must play a lot of video games. No. He plays some video games. I don't play video games.
I start playing a lot of video games. I don't necessarily finish very many.
But
I don't actually play that many video games either.
No. But I'm just going to start with one of the things that makes this type of gaming so enjoyable to me is that I get to be social and hang out with friends and people I don't know that then become friends. I've made so many new friends over the last couple years even.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Just who I consider a friend has grown so much. It changes every year too. I just keep adding more and more.
Yeah. A lot of them through the board game hobby, absolutely. And through not just coworkers or things like that, due to the popularity of board games these days, there are a lot of meetups that are happening also, not just at the traditional game store, which for a lot of non-gamers, that could be kind of a scary or intimidating place. Let's be honest, board gaming, tabletop gaming, and historically has been very male-dominated. What's awesome is that we're seeing...
it's
particularly
50-50
our meetups
groups,
are 50-50 or the males are being outnumbered. But when you go to the game store, it's still a very male dominated location for the most part, at least the ones that we go to.
Well, and these meetups, it introduced us to our now favorite place for cocktails and mocktails in our side of town.
Shout out to a Weldon Distilling.
Yeah, a Weldon has awesome spirits and make great cocktails there. In addition, they have a beautiful space that they host gaming, game days in, and some other gaming events in. And you're not just surrounded by games. You're going and discovering this. Other people are coming in. and they stop by to see, hey, what's the commotion? What's all going on? And then you get to talking to them, and then they start stopping out, or, you just meet so many people that way. There's several other places in Madison that it's a very similar vibe and similar thing that is going on. So that is, I think, one of the top reasons.
But you're
for
seeing
gaming.
that. I mean, we're seeing that kind of phenomenon pop up in more places too than just here in Madison. What you're seeing,
we're just in Madison,
cafes all over the place. So yeah, we can speak specifically to the Madison experience. One of the other things that we're seeing is it particularly as we get older, but we're seeing older couples also turning out to some of these board game events because it's such a great way to keep the brain juices flowing, to keep the mental capacity sharp, thinking, problem solving, troubleshooting, your analytical parts of your mind, all of these pieces. Besides being social was...
Well, and so for me, like, I went through many of you who have met me in person, like that I've known for a while, know that I went through a period of almost 2 years of long COVID, dealing with horrible brain fog. And this kind of helped me keep pushing and recognizing my improvements in it, because I could, this was really pushing my brain and was this exercise for me.
I knew she was recovered when I couldn't win a game anymore.
Yeah. So, it made me just that much more energized to keep wanting to play these games and play new ones and stuff. So,
no, and
now
it's
we're back
certainly,
to.
And it's certainly though, but it's certainly like some people do crossword puzzles or other types of problem-solving exercises to help keep the things sharp, or maybe they're into trivia, but board games really do provide, or tabletop gaming in general really does provide an outlet for creative thinking, creative problem solving, and in ways, depending on the games, it can be very analytical, very heavy thought, brain burning, mathy, whatever you might want, or you might be just lighter games too that you're playing and
you're
mixing that up.
Some patterns or collecting sets. There's abstract games have been kind of one I've been not intentionally, but have been drawn to in the last several months, just because it's a different way of thinking. And another thing I've noticed with playing the games is that you have to be able to pick stuff up, right? And manipulate things. So that is something too that for myself, it's being able to see where I'm at and being able to recognize, hey, can I pick this stuff up and how do I turn these? I mean, there's dexterity games, yes, but you have to have some dexterity to play these games, and it's just keeping you moving.
I mean, I have a lot of dexterity when I flip the table.
If any of our gaming tables get flipped by him, we will have a whole new video on here, and it will just be me.
All right. So another reason that board games are awesome for me, particularly, is it's that chance to escape from reality. So I think a lot of us have whatever our day jobs, day lives, whatever, and you get in kind of this whatever motion, and sometimes that can be stressful, sometimes that can be just chaotic, sometimes that can be great too. But in all of those circumstances, it's nice to get a couple hours away at the game table where you can play a game that maybe, especially if the game has a great theme or is very immersive, you can get into that theme and that story that's happening at the table. And even for an hour or two, you're able to shut off the outside world, put the phone down, ignore whatever's going on outside stimuli as much as you can, and just enjoy a couple hours at the game table playing a really immersive game. And that is, for so many people like myself, a great opportunity to escape.
Yeah, well, and with that escape from reality, so I am very fortunate that I'm able to work from home. So I'm working from home all day, and then I've got the house chores just to keep it up and everything. So this is a way to just step away from all of that, to not be seeing my work, not be seeing whatever maintenance needs to be done on the house, and just focus on something else. And that's just so nice. And one way that, I maybe used to do that in the past was sit down and watch TV or watch a movie or whatever. But this gets you away from that. You feel more, like for myself, I feel more energized when I am moving around and thinking through this stuff and not just sitting and watching the screen.
And that gets into the next point here, just getting away from the screen. Everything these days is always go pay attention to your electronic device. I mean, we want you to because we're putting YouTube videos out there for you to watch. We want you to have screen time. But watching another sitcom on the television, or because you just sat in front of a computer screen for the last 8 to 9 hours because you were working, like those you need, or even if you're
just having that different break and having your eyes focused in a different location and stuff is just nice, which is why I actually think that's partly why I enjoy playing games solo sometimes, is that it's something that I can do that is, just in front of me and kind of relaxing and not watching TV.
One of the other things that really is a big factor, and we spend a ridiculous amount of money on board games.
Yes.
But
a goal next year
in comparison to like other things we could be doing.
Yeah. It's cheaper than going out for dinner for the two of us.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like
dinner these days for two with a drink or two or something is even without a drink, it's like $50. So, hey, and that's pretty, that can be the cost of a board game.
Yeah, exactly. So, let
alone if you go to the movies.
Right. So for a while, I've always justified my game acquisition as it's cheaper than going to the movies.
Yeah, I mean, if you buy one game a month and
you get to play it multiple times.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean you get necessarily out of the house, but if you find, again, board game meetups and things like that, you can get out of the house with it too.
Yeah, I mean, and we order some games online, but we really try to go to our local game stores. And part of that is getting out of the house and, we're walking around and talking to people and stuff there. So,
but in reality, the cost of owning board games is still one of the lowest cost recreational hobbies that you can have while still being able to get maximum value, because almost all games have this great amount of replayability. Right. So if you think about you're spending, let's say, $75 on a board game, let's just say that's kind of that's a little bit on the higher end, but that's we just bought SETI, in Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, but we just bought that and that was about $70.
Yep.
And that was my second play, but first play on our copy. I guarantee our copy will get played 4, 5, 6 more times at least this year.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, if I compare that to going to a movie, $10 a play, and
that's without upgrading anything,
no upgraded components, no anything else, just $10 a play.
It is one that I'm going to create a storage system for, find one for.
Right, sure. There is.
Which is on my board game resolution, so I need to.
They're on Thingiverse. Yes. But the point is, right, when you start thinking about board gaming and you look at the cost of a board game and go, oh, that's like $70 or $80, whether you're going to play with a family or whether you're going to play maybe at a meetup or you're going to have your own adult board game nights or whatever, the amount of replayability for that investment in money is an amount of hours that are going to be at that game. Even if it's a game like Monopoly, which neither of us really like, but it's one of those class, everybody kind of starts as Monopoly, one of the first games they have. You think about the amount of money you spend on Monopoly. It's like a $20 game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Probably $10 if you find them on discount, and $1 at a garage sale, because they're everywhere. But then you think, okay, if I play that game of Monopoly, let's say $20, and I play that game of Monopoly 5 times, that's what, $4 a play, and every play of Monopoly is 2.5 hours at least. What else can you do for so little money?
I'm gonna say my copy of Steampunk Rally that I bought over, like, it was probably like when it was new and I got it on sale at some super
Probably 50
discount.
or $60, but
No,
yeah.
I paid, it was like on an after
Ah,
Christmas type sale. They had too
so
many at the game store. So I
30
spent
or
like 20,
20 or 30
25,
bucks. Okay.
$30. And that I'm down to, yeah, each play on it is probably now a
$2 or
cost of
$3.
$1.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that, because we have played that game so many times.
So, yeah, I mean, that's
And it's not like it's not the amazing game. It's just I've had it for so long and we've played it and we enjoy playing it.
yeah, you don't have to worry about like the app store deleting the app
Yeah, or updates or
yeah, hey, they decided to,
battery
you had
running
digital
out.
rights for this particular movie or video, and then they decided to remove it from whatever streaming service you bought it from, so now you don't have it
Right.
anymore. Thank you, Audible and Amazon, for doing that to us recently. You don't have to worry about those kind of things. It's there. It's always there. The rules, the game, the box, it's always there. So you can continue, like you said, keep playing it over and over and over.
I really like that. And if you aren't ready to spend, hey, $50 investment in a specific game that you've never played before, there's, like we mentioned earlier, there's so many places you can go and play games with other people and see what games they have. And most people, if you're like, hey, I want to try out this game, a lot of people ask us that and we're like, oh yeah, we have it. We'll bring it to the meetup and we play it. And
well, yeah, and in both of our meetups, I mean, Wilden has...
They
have a small library.
They have
There's a couple of good titles
library
there.
And a lot of board games.
The library that's at Misty Mountain, though, is quite remarkable for, like...
Oh, yeah. If you want to try out
just
a game.
games sitting on the shelf that you can literally just show up, grab a game off the shelf, and play it.
Most game stores have something like that.
I mean, I always recommend you pay where you play, so you should definitely, if you're going to be there for a couple hours, make sure you buy something while you're there. Just, that facility and staff and whatever costs money. When we talk about that cost to play, like, well, that could be an afternoon of you bought $10 in drinks or $20 in drinks or snacks or whatever there, and maybe some dice or something else cool, and you left, right?
Yeah.
Final thing that really makes board games awesome to me, and particularly as we continue to see continued development in this industry, is that there are so many options out there, both from themes, styles of play, mechanisms, all of these different things, so that as we go through even like our top 50 games of all time, we are finding, there's a definite difference in what you and I like and what we orientate towards as our preferred types of games, both theme and play style and mechanisms. But there's always something out there for nearly everyone and every person's play style. I mean, we were just at a Wilden recently, and I remember one of the ladies that was there, she's talking about how she didn't want to play any of the heavier, bigger games. She orientated to... her attention span was good for games that were more on like the 20 to 30 minute play span.
It's a bit more of that cool escape from reality. Don't do heavy, and that's something that especially on a weeknight a lot of times. So so there's lots of options. I mean, one thing I noticed when we were going through our top 50 is that we have overlap, a lot of overlap. But it's different. Like it's in like different sections of the 10.
There's a lot of not overlap, too.
Yeah, and there's so much. And then I realized that I like a very eclectic group of games. Like, there's not one style, theme, mechanic that dominates my list. And I like that. And that's what our game collection kind of reflects, too, is that we gravitate towards a wide variety.
Variety is the spice of life, apparently. So, hey, that's true in board games. And that makes it really good because even yesterday, we played 2 very different board games yesterday.
Oh, very different.
I will say, I didn't care for the second playthrough, but it was a very
second
distinct...
game that we played.
Yeah,
it was
or
very
the second
different.
Game, but they were both very different, and that's okay because, well, we'll just play something else next.
Yeah, that one which we will talk about probably in our February new to us games.
Yep.
Was It was one of the more disappointing games I played this month. But
Yeah.
I need to give it another try.
I think
that's the thing is I need to give it another try.
I was also very much last night thinking after the play that I probably should play it again.
Yep. And a higher player count. Yes.
Yeah. Also,
I will play it at high
more
But
weight.
anyway, we digress.
Anyways, yeah, we're on a separate tangent. All right, my cup has run dry. How about yours?
I have a sip left. I'm clearly guzzling the coffee this morning, so watch out if you're playing games with me later today.
We will be playing games later. Thanks so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Keep rolling those dice. Thanks so much for watching.
And don't forget to smash that like button and also subscribe to our channel.
By the way, here's some other videos that we've done that we think you might be interested in. Till next time, keep rolling those dice.